Hey everyone, welcome to DieselTube, your go-to video source for diesel fuel injection systems. My name is Albert Minassian and I'll be your guide to explain to you how these systems work, what these systems are, what the main components of these systems are, mainly speaking of diesel injectors, how to repair them, disassemble them, inspect each component, reassemble, and of course test them on authorized test benches so that you can give your customers or your clients the quality and product that they need. So, for starters, today I have a Delphi E1 type electronic unit injector. The advantage of this injector is that the pumping element, as you can see here, and the mechanical injector, as you can see here, are combined inside a single unit, unlike other types of injectors. And for all those who don't know the Delphi brand, it's a very well-known brand in terms of developing and designing diesel injectors, not to mention a lot more auto parts. But speaking of diesel injectors today, we have this injector with us. It's got 4 main sub-assemblies: the nozzle, the cap nut, the magnetic actuator, the bore and the plunger, and of course its spring pack. So speaking of the fuel system, or how the fuel moves inside the injector, in fact the fuel moves freely from the engine fuel manifold to the injector and back to the engine fuel manifold. And as you guys may know, the engine camshaft drives this injector, and each cylinder is dedicated to have one injector. So the engine camshaft has a pushing and pulling force on the plunger of this injector, in which when pulling the plunger, it's going to be having a raising force, and when the plunger is being raised, that is also called the filling cycle inside the injector. That's when the fuel from the engine fuel manifold fills inside the complete component of the injector. Whereas at a certain point during the downstroke of the injector, we're going to have an electrical impulse coming from the engine ECU to these two pins, to the magnetic actuator inside this injector, to create a magnetic field that will in turn allow a high pressure valve to block the passage of the fuel from the injector back to the engine fuel manifold. And once the high pressure valve is blocked, the action of the plunger being pushed downwards by the engine camshaft on the fuel inside the mechanical injector will create a pressure buildup that is strong enough to quickly overcome the mechanical spring force holding the nozzle needle on its seat. And that's when we're going to have combustion inside the chamber. But mind you, there are a lot of precise specifications that must be met before we can say that this injector is running smoothly and in turn the engine is running fine. Because any fault inside the injector may cause problems that may be visible or non-visible on the engine, including engine overheat, cylinder knock, loss of power, difficulty starting, and all of these are types of problems that you can see on the engine if your injectors are not functioning properly. That's why a correct repair procedure is very important so that you can give the client the quality and product that they need. So I'm also going to show you the machines that I have here, including the AVM2PC. So we're going to be working on the AVM2PC to test and completely repair these injectors. So I hope you guys, whoever is interested, to follow up, they can follow up in my upcoming videos during the disassembly, reassembly, and of course the testing of this injector. Let me show you here, just a second. This is basically the workshop that I'm working in. There you go, that's the AVM2PC. We're going to repair the Delphi E1 injector on this one. I'm going to show you step by step how to repair them. You have the power supply, 90-volt power supply. It's a 20 horsepower Hartridge AVM2PC.